to MexCan.
Young Perceptions of the World.
Hi, welcome to MexCan.
Hey guys, welcome back to our new episode.
I guess we may as well start off by saying that we recorded the first 5 minutes, but it didn't work, so we are going to reintroduce our very special guests, Cassidy and Carlos. Feel free to say hello.
Hello. Hi.
It's so nice having you guys, and the reason why we were so excited to have our guests today is because they were in a very similar situation to Alan and I, so maybe they can share their story with us, their long-distance story.
Yes, of course. So very similar to Alan and Jamin. I am from Canada, and Carlos is from Mexico. And we met when I was on vacation there in 2018. It was April, so I was just finished school, and then my whole family decided it was a good time, not too busy, to go on vacation, so we went to Cancun, and Carlos happened to be working at the hotel we stayed at. So as I mentioned in our previous one, had a few drinks, got me talking, got talking to Carlos and a few of the other entertainers there, and it kind of just led to us talking more. Like one of the entertainers we kind of like got close through, and then we ended up just kind of talking beyond the trip. I think we were Facebook messaging while I was still there.
Yeah.
Because we added each other on Facebook. So we kind of just kept things going, and then when we got home, we decided, like, should we try this? Should we do a video call? So we did, and everything went well from there. So we did the first 4 months strictly long distance, doing video calls as much as we could when we weren't working and not doing anything. And then Carlos finally came here in August of that year, so about 4 months later. Mm-hmm. And then we were saying it was kind of nerve-wracking after talking to someone that long online. Even though we had technically met, it wasn't really the same. So, I mean, I was nervous. It was really weird at the beginning, but then after a couple of days, it felt normal. We were like, kind of like we always knew each other. So thankfully everything worked out, and from there on, you have to kind of decide, is this worth it or not? Because as you guys know, long distance isn't easy. So you have to know if it's something you want to pursue and really put the effort in, because you can't just like put half into it. It's all or nothing kind of deal. So thankfully we decided to go all in, and so far here we are. Everything's good, like 3 years later.
That's amazing. I love hearing your story, because finding someone who can relate to Alan and I is, first of all, amazing, and second of all, we understand the struggle, and I think many other long-distance couples can as well, because especially now with the pandemic and so many people, can't even see their significant other or their family members and things like that. So I think it's really important to hear other people's stories, and especially now that you guys are living together, talk about a successful few years, doing long distance, and now you're together in Toronto?
Yes, thank you. So we're close to Toronto. Yeah, just like 40 minutes east of Toronto, but very, very close. Yeah, so this is where we've been, but I mean, luckily Carlos came a couple times before, he's been here now, because with the pandemic, we can't really do anything. So that's kind of unfortunate. There's not much to see. We go on a few drives, and in the summer when things were a little better, we tried to get out and do things, but the hard part is it's hard for Carlos to make friends and stuff. I'm not saying he doesn't have friends, but, you can't go out and meet people. So I think that's a bit of a challenge. But luckily, I mean, we do have family here, which sometimes it's hard, but it's also been nice. During a pandemic, there's not just the two of us, there's other people around. So it kind of makes it easier. If we need some time apart, then he can do his thing and I'll go hang out with my sister.
No, I think you guys have a really awesome situation, and even though Carlos is stuck in Canada, at least you guys are seeing the positive side of it. I mean, you guys can be together, and I know that it must be really difficult for you, Carlos, not being able to see your family. I can only imagine how difficult that is, because especially with all of this uncertainty and all of these restrictions that Canada has been enforcing, like the mandatory hotel quarantine, it's so difficult and so disheartening. Every time I see the news, I get sad for Alan and I and for everyone else who has had to struggle with this whole pandemic. So, Carlos, for you, how has your family been adjusting to you being away for so long?
Well, I mean,
Okay.
I'm not the closest person that someone can be to my family, but
That's kind of good for us, not like to be rude, but
I mean, I still message them every sometime, or like I will
Talk to them a lot.
FaceTime them or whatever, talk to them. But I mean, I really want to go back just to see the city that I grew up in again, or like
Carlos.
see my friends or eat Mexican
Yeah.
food.
Yeah,
which
may I ask which city you're from? Like, oh, Veracruz.
Veracruz,
Okay.
But I grew up in Cancun. I grew up
Okay.
my
I get
entire
it
life,
now.
so pretty much.
sorry, Jamin, or sorry, Alan, where are you
Well,
located
I'm from
again?
the south, from a state pretty close to Veracruz, Tabasco.
Oh.
I'm sure you know that state,
Oh,
Carlos.
so, yeah, I've
Yeah?
been there many times.
Yeah, not the best thing, but you know,
Nice.
it's still part of Mexico.
It's a nice city. That's where my
Really, your
father-
father's from here? Oh, that's interesting.
La
La Venta?
Venta.
Wow, you even know the
Yeah.
name. Well, for me, I'm from here. I know that is located, but that's cool. That's cool. You know, it's a small world, and you see, your father's from here. Well, that's interesting.
Cool.
It is a small world. Finding someone with a
Yeah.
very similar story. I remember the first time, I don't remember how we got talking, but it was such a cool thing. I was telling everyone, like, it's crazy how similar, you know, your relationship is to ours, and I find that so interesting, and it's been so nice to talk to you
Aw,
guys
thank
and have
you.
someone to relate to. And
Yeah,
like you said, I feel like people, yeah, of course, like people don't understand
exactly.
distance until you're in it. So I can only imagine how you guys are feeling right now with everything going on.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that we can still do this.
Yeah, we
and
really
you guys talk.
appreciate your kind words and being able to talk to you about this, because seeing someone who, you know, has been in the same situation as me, you know, being with a Mexican, you know, you hear a lot of things from people like, well, I guess in my case I heard a few extra things like, oh, is he even real? But also just like saying like, what's the point? What's the point of like being with someone who's so far away? Like, you know, you used to hear that from all sorts of people, especially when Alan and I first started being more official with our relationship. And now I think everyone who knows us well, they're used to it by now. I mean, it's been 3 years, so yeah. but definitely it
almost
can be
4 years.
difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
amazing.
So
Oh, sorry, how long
I
has it been
think
exactly?
we started talking in October or November of 2017, I believe, but we didn't talk too often. Yeah.
Wow.
And then we didn't
That's a
meet
long
until
time.
July 2018. So I flew to Mexico and I spent 2 weeks with
Wow.
Alan, and we actually went to Cancun and, well, Tulum, and we got to go there for our first little trip together. It was pretty amazing, and I've been able to see him a few times since, and he's been to Canada. He spent Christmas with my family and I, so it was really special. Yeah, it's so
Oh,
nice
nice.
getting to see where the other person is from. And Cassidy, have you been back to Mexico?
Yeah, and-
sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I was just going to say with distance, it's crazy because you also get put right in with the family. There's no time to, you know, wait it out. It
Exactly,
just happens
yeah.
all at
Like
once,
I
so
met Alan, but
that's
I
cool.
also met his entire family all at once. It was so nerve-wracking. Like
Yeah.
you go from speaking
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
just that one person, and then all of a sudden you're there in their home with their parents. So yeah, I
Yeah.
can relate to that.
Okay, now.
But yeah,
Oh.
I've been lucky enough. Oh,
No, I
sorry.
was just gonna ask you too something. Like I've been wanting to ask you this. Like what are some of the stuff that you had to do when you used to be in the distance? You know, like what was that thing that you had to do, like to keep up with the relationship? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good question. I think, yeah, I think at the beginning it was easier which is weird because we weren't used to it, but we were kind of getting to know each other, so there was a lot to talk about. But after a while, I would say it got a little harder. We tried to have to find unique things. I mean, I think everyone kind of plays games.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it's like
Yeah.
long distance relationship. It's all about talking.
Exactly,
The only thing you can do is talk.
I know.
And at some point, you have nothing else to say. You're like, I don't know what to say anymore. So we started watching movies together.
Yeah.
We started playing games, online games.
Like Guitar Hero was a big one we do.
Yeah. Sometimes I will just do nothing, and she will be doing nothing, or sleeping together. Sometimes we
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, like
We gotta tell you, we done that too.
not like sleeping together like that.
I mean,
Like-
like the phone next to the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we done that too, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
like that.
I mean, it's cute, you know?
Oh, that's funny.
It
But yeah.
gives the feeling, you know? Just the sensation that you're still seeing, you know, the other person, like, you're one another. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, exactly. And we tried to do like sushi dates.
Oh, that's
and we
cute.
both ordered
That's
sushi at the
great,
same
that's
time and
great,
pizza
yeah.
and stuff, but it didn't always go as planned. I mean,
Yeah.
things happen.
The thing that we will do the most is to play Guitar Hero.
Really? And from the distance?
Yeah, it was like some
Oh,
website.
It's a website.
We gotta
I think it
try
was,
that
let's
too,
try
Jim.
it.
another name.
So please share the link
Yeah,
or
we'll have to
whatever
send
you
it to you
use.
guys.
Uh,
Yeah, we'll have to send it to you guys.
I just found a new game that we should have played, but I didn't know the name. It's called Move or Die. It's one of the best games out there for people that
Okay.
can play together, and you have so much fun. There's so many.
Send it to them.
Okay, yeah, but you have to pay for it, but it's like $5 or
Alright.
$6 right now, Canadian. So it isn't that bad, but it's so much fun. I wish we knew it before.
Okay,
We would have had
Alan,
tons of
let's.
fun.
Yeah, any
But
more
yeah, let's move.
recommendations?
Yeah,
Send
no,
them
no,
our
it
way.
works for
Like,
us,
we're
yeah.
ready, yeah.
Yeah. What have you guys been doing
Oh
with
my
all this
goodness.
time to?
What haven't we done?
Oh my gosh, yeah, we've tried everything. We did a lot of Netflix parties. I think now it's called
Yeah,
teleparties. We
a lot
do
of
that
those.
like once a
Nice.
week, and that's something huge for us. We play a lot of Call of Duty on our phones, and yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's
Okay.
so cool. Yeah, she doesn't play any.
Oh, you guys play COD too?
No,
No,
she doesn't. I
Oh, but
would.
we do it.
I mean, I didn't say I wouldn't. I've never played, so
What?
you never asked. I've never.
But it comes blood. You don't like that.
there's a special
Anyway.
Christmas mode where you turn into a teddy bear instead, so that one might be more tame for the
Oh.
non-gun lovers. No, but COD has been fun because it's easy to connect
try it.
with Alan and stuff, and we can talk at the same time. So it's like everything that we can do to be together, we try to incorporate it into our lives. And you know, even as you pointed out, like calling and sleeping together, we did that a lot as well. We would put our phones on and like sometimes fall asleep or just talk until we get really tired and things like that. And yeah, and sometimes we would video call. We haven't done this recently, but we would video call as we worked on homework and just kind of just
Yeah.
have each other there without really
That's nice.
talking.
But
Yeah.
Right,
but
without the pressure.
I gotta say something, you know, and for the people who's going like here, it's not about video calling, but like to kind of like, you know, doing the stuff that we like and that the other person can motivate us to keep doing. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
for me, and
That's true.
when the whole pandemic started, I started playing music. I got a little keyboard and I hook it up to my computer and I started making music. So I was like, Jamin, would you like to listen to what I make? Like, you know, kind of like a live concert just for her. And that's another thing that we do.
That's
And I
Wow.
like that because Jamin motivates me to keep making more music. And she's like, oh, it's beautiful, it sounds cool. And even though that I know it's not sounding that great, and she's
No,
always
it
like,
always sounds
it sounds
great."
amazing, I love it. So that's kind of like the thing that, you know, what it's about, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's really nice. That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, but you're right. It's not always about just talking to each other. Like we said, like, of course, you need to spend that time together. But even here, like, Carlos will be sitting here on his computer and I'm sitting over there on mine. You don't always have to be talking, but either in person or in distance, if you know that person's there, virtually or not. Like
Exactly, yeah.
it's just nice to have
And
that
I have a
support, so
question
I
for you
agree.
guys. Do you think that you were able to become closer because you only had to rely on talking? Like, I guess I will try to explain better. So normally I am kind of a shy person, so I definitely wouldn't have been as upfront with Alan if we would have been talking in person, and I think talking through a video definitely gave me more confidence, and we were able to get a lot closer faster. Even though we weren't able to like actually see each other in person, we were really able to talk about really meaningful things because, you know, you talk about, oh, how are you doing? What's your day? Like, how's it going and everything like that. But you also have the
Right.
time to ask more meaningful things. So I think for us personally, we were able to get a lot
Yeah.
closer emotionally that way. And do you guys find that it was similar for you?
I will say,
Yeah.
since we're a long distance relationship, it's different than a normal relationship because in a normal relationship, you will go to the movies, eat, and you get time there where you don't have to talk. But when you're literally just FaceTiming someone, there's nothing else. Maybe you can watch something or do something, but it's mostly talking, other than any other dates that you can have with someone. So you have to talk more, and it's, I will say, like for us, it was really easy to get to know each other.
Yeah, I think you have a good point because I never really thought about it that way. But like thinking back, I think like the deepest emotional conversations we had were at the beginning
Yeah.
when we were distance. So I think that's a good point. I never really thought about that, but thinking back, like I think we got to know each other way better, off,
Yeah, because
not in person.
anytime I would come, we wouldn't talk like that. We would just.
Yeah, we would just like enjoy our time together. So I definitely think we had deeper conversations over the internet. So I think that's a really interesting point. You're right. You
Yeah,
kind of like
it's-
reverse. You start with like the
Exactly.
deep stuff and go backwards. So I get what you're saying. That's
Yeah,
a good
because we
point.
couldn't rely on things like, as Carlos said, going to the movies and stuff because it's so different. Our dynamic is like
Right.
a 160. Like when we're talking on video call, it's definitely, as you said, like a lot more focused on like having conversations and actually getting to know the person. And when we're
Yeah.
together in person, it's more like fun and games. Let's take selfies. Let's do this. You know, like
Yeah.
it's definitely more
Exactly.
like carefree. So it's interesting balancing both because in person it's obviously so much better being actually close to them, but some things are actually kind of nice
Yeah.
through distance.
That's true. And yeah, I can be quiet at times too, so I understand what you mean. Like maybe being in person right from the get-go, it wouldn't have been that, like maybe we wouldn't have been that vocal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Well,
we're both kind of quiet at times, so
yeah, I'm the quietest.
yeah. I
Yeah.
used to be so quiet in elementary school and high school, like people actually thought I had a problem. But now I can talk.
No, but I'm the
Now I'm
quietest
the
in
loud
the
one.
relationship.
Same with
Yeah.
Alan. He's the quiet one as well. I'm
I
like,
got you, man. I got you. You know, I'm the same kind of man in in the relationship. I barely
we're the
talk. You know,
same
sometimes
people.
you gotta be like,
Our relationships
right.
are the same.
Okay, Jimmy. Yeah, keep going. Keep telling me. And she's like, just talking and talking and talking. But you know, I even
That's
like it.
so
Just like hearing her voice, even though like sometimes I'm not even processing what she's saying,
the truth.
and I.
Oh, that's relatable.
Yeah,
That's Carlos.
Yeah, it's related.
Oh my
Sometimes I
God.
will fall asleep.
Yeah, okay.
Hilarious,
Oh,
but
I
so
got in
true.
trouble
Oh
after
my
that.
goodness.
That's
Good
cute.
intro.
You like to listen
Yeah.
to her voice. Like I'll do something and Carlos will say, "What? You didn't tell me you're doing it."
Yeah.
I said, "I literally told you like 5 times. You just don't hear me."
That's happened to
like
us
you
too.
don't listen. You hear me, but you're not listening.
Definitely, yeah.
Well,
Oh, that's
Well,
funny. So
now
similar.
that we've like talked about the good things, you know, as anything in the world, there's always like bad things too. And I would like to kind of like just say a few stuff that we like, some kind of like obstacles that we've had in our relationship because we both have experienced the kind of like the long distance relationship. So, what would you say was like some bad things or negative things or obstacles that you had to go through?
There was a lot, I would say. Like, I know one for me was if you were having a bad day and you just want to be with someone. I think that was hard. Or if I knew Carlos was struggling with something and I couldn't be there, that was
Yeah.
hard. I know, like, another thing we kind of struggled with is Carlos is, like, my first very serious relationship. So I trust him and everything, but sometimes with distance, when he's out with friends, like I can't help but worry. So that was another thing that caused us problems because we're very different in some ways.
Yeah.
So I think that was another big thing with distance being an issue. Not really always knowing. I don't want to sound like I'm
No, it's fine.
but you know
Just
what I mean.
wait for you to hear our stuff.
It's just there was. Yeah, exactly. So there was definitely a lot of struggles. I think in those aspects were like the biggest ones for us, and just certain part of our personalities clashing in that way. But because we are kind of different. Like I talk about everything. Like I'll tell him my whole
Same
life
with
story, but he's
Alan.
more reserved.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
the
think
same
just, like,
thing,
Yeah.
you know. And
That's
you
so
want to know
funny.
something, Cassidy, and I hope that you agree with me, Carlos. What I've told Jamin when we have like kind of like the same struggles, you know, what you said is just the same thing here. I'm different than her. Like there's so many things that are different from us. And what I was gonna say, Carlos, is that I believe that our culture, like Mexican culture, is like that, and our Canadians are kind of like different, and they see things a little bit different than we do.
Yeah, I'll say the same. I think it's powerful culture, but I think on my own way, I've always been reserved with my personal stuff, even my like family
Yeah.
issues or whatever. Like even today, sometimes I wouldn't tell her because I just
Yeah,
always
me
keep
too.
things
Yeah,
to
me
myself,
too.
which is something that I don't like. But it's something that I do psychologically protects myself.
And I don't get it sometimes, so that's when it's not like an argument, but I'm like, just tell me.
It's
stuff.
like I'm here, yeah, like
You know, like, we're
yeah,
in
I
it.
just open up, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that
Yeah.
way too sometimes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're so similar. Yeah, that's very much. the
Yeah,
case.
I
Are you guys? Like,
Well,
the same?
you know,
Like, do you
for
have
a
any big-
while, I think, was it in maybe 2019? I think it was actually right around the time Alan came back from Canada and he was back in Mexico, and it was like really hard to adjust, and we went through a patch, like a rough patch, I guess, and we weren't able to like keep up with the long distance relationship, but luckily
Yeah.
through talking and stuff, and I had a non-refundable plane ticket, so so I was like, well, okay, I have this plane ticket. Should I just leave it? Should I go see you? And we
Yeah.
decided together that let me just go. I mean, the ticket's paid for. I may as well go and see how things are going to occur after this, and luckily they ended up working out for the better because we decided
Yeah.
that we wanted to, you know, actually continue this, and we were able to be together since then, but oh my goodness, not now because of the
Maybe.
pandemic, but
Oh, that's
Okay.
yeah.
But I gotta
Right.
say, hold on.
Well, at least
I'm
it's
sorry, but
different
I gotta say that at that time when what you just said, Jamin, it was mostly me. When I came back from Canada, it was a time for me when I started doubting, you know. And I think that is normal for us as humans to start doubting, you know, like having doubts in your mind and questioning
Yeah.
if what you're doing is the right thing, if you're feeling good in the position that you are. So I got locked up in that thought, and you know, negative thoughts keep coming into your mind, and then you get into that thing, and sometimes you cannot get away from that.
Right.
But I managed things to Jamin and to my family, and to, you know, just to give myself some time and to think this stuff thoroughly, you know, until I got it right.
Right.
And as time passed by, we just kept going with the relationship. I was like, we're always still dating. Nothing bad had happened yet, and we just kept going with that thing. But you know, I gotta,
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's good.
So it was mostly that.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, everything happens for a
Exactly.
reason. I think that plane ticket was
Yeah.
like fate. And as long as everything's good now, at the end of the day, like we all, like you said, have
Yeah.
our hard times. So, yeah, it makes sense. And I think what matters is you guys are, you know, back together. That's great. And
Thanks.
we're really happy about that.
One thing that helped us a lot was every time we would leave, we were already planning the next trip.
It wasn't
And,
always possible, though. but-
It wasn't always possible because I had to book time off, and it's really hard to get to
Yeah.
Mexico. Very hard. And then we will have to pay for tickets. Luckily, every time we went to Mexico, because I work at a hotel,
Oh,
I
that's
could get
good.
free nights, and we will spend time there. and it was like the best time that we could ever have in our life for free.
But now we miss it. Now we don't
miss
have
it, but
that,
it's so expensive. Like so expensive to go
Yeah.
there. However, we were like seeing each other pretty much every 4 to 6 months, which
about
wasn't
that.
bad. And one time she came to Mexico for like 20 something days
That was the worst vacation. Sorry, that was the worst time we had
because I was
together.
working. Because I was still working.
Yeah, that was a bad part. Because I stayed. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
He worked the whole 3 weeks and only
That's
had 1 day
really
off a week.
difficult.
And he had school on that day, and I couldn't leave the room because Carlos said, you know, there's certain parts of Cancun that just aren't
Yeah.
safe for you to go out alone.
I tell this
So,
I'll tell this
I
same
get
thing
that.
to
So-
Jamin every time she comes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, so-
she cannot
Yeah.
go out herself. And I had a car, so we could go anywhere in my car. That's safe to be in a car. In Cancun
But the
and everything.
problem was you were working, so I literally stayed in
couldn't
the,
leave.
the room for
That's
like
hard.
10 hours a day, because you'd have to leave like almost an hour early and then
Yeah.
work for 8 hours. So I think that was like the hardest time we've ever
Yeah.
had, because Carlos felt pressure to keep me like entertained, I guess, after, but he was dead and I was ready to like go and have fun. So I think that was like probably that's the closest we came
Yeah,
to
'cause
breaking up.
we got an Airbnb to stay, which was closer to everything than my house. And one thing that we should have done is got an Airbnb with a pool so you can lay there or something,
Yeah.
whatever. However, it was very cheap. We got a huge deal with his Airbnb thing. It was so cheap. But yes, she was like in the room for like 9 hours straight.
I think we were both ready for that vacation to be over at that point. Like, it was just the worst part of our
Yeah, it was
relationship,
the-
and we said if we got through that, then we can
that's-
get through it.
Yeah, Carlos,
was
I
fun.
understand because honestly, like the same exact thing happened to us. So I didn't know that Alan was going to be coming to Canada. His
No.
parents were amazing and they actually surprised me
Yeah.
with his ticket. So I didn't know. They planned the
Aw.
whole thing with my mom. And when I found out, I started crying. But at the same time, I was like, oh my gosh, I work. I had finals in university. So I was like struggling as well because, of course, I hadn't seen Alan in so long. And then all of a sudden, I find out he's coming. It's too late to take time off work, so I had to work basically half the time he was here, and then I had finals. So it was studying and working, and yeah, I felt really disappointed that I couldn't spend more time with him. So yeah, Carlos, I understand it. I think, Alan, yeah, you must have felt a little bit like Cassidy in that situation. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, there's always going to be something, but like we said, like if you can get through those things, like you guys now going through this together from that far of a distance, it just
And now
shows
with
how strong
COVID,
your relationship
and now
is.
with COVID,
Yeah.
like if you guys make it after this, like
You will, obviously.
like I mean,
Not
yeah,
if.
and you will, but like nothing else
Aw,
would be worse.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
true.
What's
It's
going on
like
right
the
now
worst
without
part
seeing each
is
other, you know?
being apart, I guess. So yeah, thank you so much. I really look up to you guys because you know it's so amazing.
Oh,
Yeah,
we look up to you.
it's so
That's so
nice
sweet.
being able to finally talk to you and actually hear your story in person. And yeah, it's very inspiring. And I was also wondering, how has it been with the Spanish and English language barrier? Have you guys had any difficulties with like understanding each other or like
Yes. Yeah. She
Okay,
can't
yeah.
speak to my family at all.
No,
She can't
that's
say a
hard.
word. She
I
can
want
say
to
hi.
know it. I
but-
do, but like we said, I did take those lessons, but then I kind of just stopped, just with the money, and it was also
Yeah.
right before he came in COVID. So I had all these plans to like watch YouTube videos and try and learn, but
Never
yeah,
happens.
it's my fault. But Carlos didn't. teach
Yeah,
me.
well, it's part of her fault.
Yeah, but I think that's like between us, it's fine because Carlos obviously knows English. But I think the biggest problem will be like when I go there and Carlos misses his friends and everything, and he's talking to all them. Then I'm just gonna be there and not know anything and see his family. I think the same. Like it's gonna be.
Yeah, same with family. I think is the worst because they try to. You know how
Yeah.
Mexican people are. They are so welcoming. They want to talk to you.
And I feel bad.
They want to tell you stuff, but she can literally just be. like
It's
a
it's
wall
weird.
there.
Yeah, I've never been in this situation, of course. So
Yeah, but she only knows my first grade family. She doesn't know my whole family yet, which is fine. I can handle a couple people at a time, but once it turns into my entire 20 people family,
Yeah,
that's
too
okay.
much.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
Everything at that point.
Yeah.
So that should be my goal over the next couple months before there's any travel allowed. Just kind of get practicing. So if you guys have any tips on that or have anything you think would be
Of
helpful,
course,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Let me
mean,
know.
Sure.
I totally get that with learning Spanish. It can be so difficult, especially since I want to be able to speak perfectly with his family, but I always mess up and I feel like they can't really get to know the real me. And you know, every time I've been able to be with Alan and his family, I have tried so hard to have conversations, but I feel like being able to just say hi, you know, the basic things, it's so hard to actually get to know someone, and especially since Alan is, you know, being long, oh my gosh, I can't speak, but doing long distance with me. And the only thing that we really have is just saying, oh yeah, I'm talking to my boyfriend or I'm talking to my girlfriend. So it's difficult because for parents it's like, well,
Right.
okay, what's up here? Like, what's going on? So when I finally do get the chance to see Alan and his family, I want to actually express myself, and it's been difficult, but practice and practice.
Wow. Yeah. Well, you seem amazing at Spanish, so
Oh,
I mean,
thanks,
I look up
but
to you in that sense because I would love love to get there. But you know, you should be proud. It's not easy. I mean, I can't speak from experience, but when I've tried to learn, it's like it's not an easy thing to do. So all three of you guys, props on you for learning
No, but
more than one.
you know what? I
language.
believe that it takes some time, you know, to learn a new language, and I assure you that you are going to speak Spanish, but it's gonna take some time, you know. Just don't pressure yourself. You know what I mean? Just
Okay.
go easy and but like actually try to learn Spanish. You know what I mean? But
Right.
don't rush it.
Okay.
You're gonna be speaking Spanish. That's what I always tell Jamin. Like you always wanted to be perfect in the language, but you gotta go easy. Just it gotta take some years. I started learning English
Right.
like 8 years ago, and it took me 8 years.
Okay, I was gonna
It
ask.
took me 8 years, and when I started, I
Okay.
didn't even want to learn the language. It was nasty for me. I didn't like it. But then
Right.
I met Jamin, and that kind of like motivated me to keep learning more, you know?
That's true.
So that's,
Yeah.
That's
She told me
good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are like you're
Like-
great at English.
Like I still
Alan.
make some
Oh
mistakes
my
here
gosh.
and there, like everyone else. That
Yeah.
knows
We all
the
do.
language.
But you two are like really good. Like
Yes.
Alan and Carlos, like you guys are very good at English. Like you, it's not like I don't notice anything. Like, not to be rude, but some people who speak other languages, they mess up and it's cute.
I know,
but, like,
I'm
you guys
always
don't
so
really-
impressed.
I haven't noticed anything,
Like,
so it's
I wish I had your guys' like level in Spanish. Like, oh my gosh. And Carlos, how did you learn English?
I started on primary school, then in secondary school, then in high school, and then to get into the hotel I had to do an exam. What was my percentage, right? And when I finished high school, it was 40% of English knowledge, speaking, listening, understanding, all those things. Then the hotel had advanced teaching classes through a private company that the hotel would pay. So I took them, and then after 2 months, I went up to 60%. Then after that, I kept going for another 4 months, and then I went up to 80%.
Yeah.
Then I got into the entertainment stuff. Then I met Cass.
We're still translating things.
And then 1 year after I met Cass, and I loved the hotel. I
Wow,
loved the language.
That's amazing.
congratulations.
Yeah.
So it was a curve of learning and a lot of time to put into. My phone, I
Alan
changed
does
the
that,
language
yeah.
to English.
Yeah.
My computer too. I
Nice.
started reading books in English.
Yeah.
Everything was in English for me. Talking to English to her the whole day. So it was just that constant
Exactly that.
practice and practice of words and recognizing when you mess up to be like, okay, I don't want to say that. And then I started to pick up stuff from her that she
Me too.
says.
Mhm.
Pronunciation, some sentences and stuff.
when we first started talking, you were translating our messages.
Yeah, sometimes I will have problems with words that she will say that I was not familiar with, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did you say? I have to translate it. But
He like
after,
okay. the first night we met, he said something about I love you, and I was like, whoa, this guy's scary. Like, what's wrong
I
with
didn't
him?
mean that. I didn't mean that at all.
I was scared.
I feel
but
so
then
bad.
he didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't know.
No, it happened. It happened.
Funny, but it's
I
true.
remember saying some things like that, like translating from Spanish to English, because my feeling was like I don't want to mess up in front of her, when I started texting her. So I would always want to get it right. So I would always have Google Translator on my phone just to make sure that I got it all well.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's fair.
Same. It just took
Yeah.
some practice in picking up words from her, learning what I was doing wrong. And after some months, I felt better and just she helped me a lot to learn English, just practicing and recognizing some words I didn't know. And after a couple months, I wasn't even using my phone to translate absolutely anything. I didn't need to translate anything anymore.
Yay! That's
It was
amazing. Talk about progress. I'm so happy for you guys. That's really amazing. And yeah, it's inspiring because I would hope to. I would love to speak as well as you guys do in English, but it takes a lot of time. Well,
How are you learning right now? Are you
normally I
watching
take some
videos or-
Spanish classes with my university, but those are actually coming to an end tomorrow. So I won't have that for practice anymore, but what I do is I try to read a lot and I watch a lot of YouTube videos, especially with Mexican YouTubers, just because of all of the slang. My gosh, Mexican Spanish is like its own language. It's so hard, all of the extra words. It's different than just learning I think English, because even though we have accents and stuff, depending on the United States, Australia, I mean, the amount of words that vary depending on Spanish-speaking countries is crazy. So that's one thing. Going to Tabasco, my Spanish was not ready for Tabasco. So yeah. But I mean, it's been really amazing, and I really appreciate you guys being here with us. So thank you so much, and I think that you guys are so inspiring to other long distance couples as well, and we really appreciate having you here.
Oh.
Thank you. Well, thanks.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys having us. This is our
I know.
first little podcast, so
Aw,
it was
thank
really
you.
fun.
Thank you,
nice
and
to
we
talk
will
to
be
you
able
guys.
to continue talking, and I would love that. Maybe we can do some games, all four of us, to get to know each other.
Yes, we should do that
I
for
would
sure.
love
That
that.
would be so
That'd be
fun.
great. And I think
That'd
Alan
be great.
disappeared, but
Me too.
I guess we can wrap it up here. And thanks again. We really appreciate it. And I hope that everyone listening will.
Oh, well, hopefully it was okay. I don't know if I said
Oh
the
my
right
goodness,
thing.
I mess up. English is
I
my
don't know
native
which-
language, but oh my goodness, when I get nervous, it's like it's not my first language. So the fact that Carlos is doing this, Alan is doing this, and you, Cassidy, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. I'm definitely on the shy side, so being able to improve my speaking abilities is something that's also really helpful with doing this podcast. So thank you so much.
Oh, that's so nice. No, it was great. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
It was really nice to talk
And
to
I'm
you
sure
guys
Alan
and
is
do
saying
this.
thank you as well, even though he's not there.
Oh yeah, he disappeared.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Cassidy and Carlos,
Thank
and
you.
I will be in contact with you guys soon. Okay, bye.
Oh, perfect. Okay, sounds great.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Alright, thank you.
Bye.
Wait, no,
Bye
I
for
gotta
now.
say goodbye too. Sorry, I'm back, guys.
Oh,
Okay, I thought
just
you
had to leave for a few
disappeared.
minutes.
Okay,
No, hold on.
it was funny.
We done with the podcast? Okay.
well, you can
Right.
say your goodbyes.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, guys, for joining us. We really wanted to share these kind of experiences that we've had as long distance relationships, and
Oh, you guys are
you
so
too.
sweet.
Thank you so much. Hey.
Thanks. It was
We
fun.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. It was so nice to talk to both of you and get to know you a little better as well.
Yeah. That's what it is about, and hopefully we can keep talking in another day, another time, to just to keep up with the friendship,
Yeah, we would love to.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Well,
and good
great.
night, guys. I know there's a
Thanks,
big
guys.
time difference between
Yes, have a good
Saskatchewan
night.
and Ontario, so we
You'll-
really
oh, right.
appreciate
You'll
you
be
guys
able-
staying
You'll
open.
be able to listen to the episode probably the next week, Sunday, right? So you can share
Okay,
it
yeah,
and,
let us know.
and
Yeah.
all this stuff.
Yeah, we'll share it for sure. Perfect.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Javen and Alice. Bye. Bye, guys.